Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is June 22nd of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to execute a four-pronged assassination and neutralization plot targeting U.S. President Donald J. Trump on the date of June 23rd of 2026, specifically to spawn the presidency of one J.D. Vance. Before I get into the potential scenarios, I just want to highlight the numerology regarding this particular date because it is absolutely blinking red. The date of June 23rd marks exactly 80 years and 9 days since Donald J. Trump was born back in Queens, New York in June 14th of 1946. This is important because there have been basically two veiled death threats against the president involving the 8647 numerology, which I'm going to get into in a second. And because the 6 and the 9, a 9 is an upside down 6 and a 6 is an upside down 9, these numbers, as with the nuclear attacks in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they always do things on 6 and 9 because they can flip back and forth. And so the date of June 23rd marks 80 years and 9 days since Donald J. Trump was born. And it also marks 6 days since Donald J. Trump signed the Islamabad Memorandum, which is the Iran deal, back on 6/17 of 26, and 9 days since the aforementioned Islamabad Memorandum was drafted. So you have the 6 and 9 numerology, and this is when Donald J. Trump signed his death warrant because he went against the state of Israel, and Zionist billionaire Miriam Adelson, who funded Trump's 2024 campaign to the tune of $300 billion, her newspaper came out after this deal was drafted and then subsequently signed, and said that Trump betrayed the Israeli people and the Jewish people. So this is basically a revenge play that is going to happen on June 23rd with the first state, Jewish state of Switzerland, founded August 1st, circa 1309, and the third state of Israel, Jewish state, founded May 14th of 1948. So coincidentally, the date of June 23rd marks 11 days since the latest 8647 death threat was made against Donald J. Trump, which was a massive mural that somebody drew with chemicals or paint on the National Mall, on the lawn of the National Mall. And this is designed to foreshadow that Trump will either be buried beneath the grass or that he will die when taking off in Marine One from the White House lawn. So 11, of course, equates to letter K in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for kill. It's also symbolic of the Torah. The 11 is a scroll. That's why we have twin towers all around the world, including the World Trade Center, which were knocked down. So this suggests that Donald J. Trump will be 8647. 86 means to kill or to throw out. So because it's the 80 years and 9 days, it has the same connotation. But 9 is an intelligence number, which is why we see the letter I in FBI, CIA, MI5, MI6, etc. Also, the date of June 23rd marks 404 days since former FBI Director James Comey published an ominous tweet with the number 8647 written in seashells, which I'm going to reference in a minute. So remember that. But this was a veiled threat by the then current director of the FBI back on May 15th of 2025. So the number 404, that this equates to DD, as in dead and died. It's also a reference to Barack Hussein Obama, who was the 44th president of the United States, who is likely going to be politically resurrected in the aftermath of the end of the Trump presidency and a temporary presidency of J.D. Vance. I should also mention that James Comey was indicted by the U.S. Department of Justice for this tweet because it is a terroristic threat. And so I believe that James Comey will be in action on the date of June 23rd, likely targeting U.S. President Donald J. Trump. And also, of course, with every assassination, terror attack, and act of war, it always has a numeric signature of the CIA who is orchestrating it. The top secret name of the CIA is ISIS or SS, and we see this in the numerology of June 23rd, which is Trump's 519th day since Trump became president of the United States back on January 20th of 2025. The number 5 is symbolically an S, and then of course 19 equates to the letter S in the English alphabet, so this is SS. So this is the numeric signature of the CIA who's going to neutralize a sitting U.S. president on their particular numerology. Also, the date of June 23rd marks 29,229. So we have 29/2/29 days since Donald J. Trump was born in Queens, New York, back on June 14th of 1946. And this is, of course, because the number 2 doubles as the letter Z symbolically, and the number 9 equates to the letter I. This is ZZ. So Z equates to the is an acronym for Zionism in the English alphabet. So that is, in fact, the political motivation. I believe they're going to execute, as previously mentioned, a 4-pronged assassination plot, starting with the suicide assassination of Donald J. Trump. So they're likely going to, at this point, because I've outlined each of these individually, they're likely going to say that it was a combination thereof of failure to end the ongoing Iran war, failure to open the Strait of Hormuz, failure to negotiate a ceasefire with the Islamic Republic of Iran. His poll numbers, the latest is an Associated Press poll that came out today, June 22nd, that said that Trump is at 30% approval rating. There's also the possibility that they will assassinate him under the guise of a self-inflicted suicide in the aftermath of the ongoing public feud with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Basically, Trump got caught lying. Or there's the possibility that the U.S. Supreme Court will render a decision on the date of June 23rd, which will go against the Trump administration, possibly in respect to birthright citizenship or tariffs, and that this will push Trump over the edge and he will kill himself. If the CIA forgoes a suicide assassination of Trump on the day of June 23rd, they will likely resort to Plan B, which is targeting Air Force One or Marine One surrounding Donald J. Trump's trip from the White House to Reading Regional Airport in Reading, Pennsylvania. There's a possibility that Trump will come under attack once landing at the airport. Possibly targeting Marine One as he approaches the airport, possibly ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hamas, or Hezbollah. And then when Trump departs from Reading National Airport, he will go to make a speech at the Mack Trucks Lehigh Valley operations in, I want to say Macungie, Pennsylvania, and this is where the CIA is planning on executing a so-called transgender or transsexual based sniper assassination or other assassination event targeting Trump in Pennsylvania. Coincidentally, the day of June 23rd marks exactly 286, so here we have the 86 numerology again, since Charlie Kirk was assassinated by the Israeli Mossad at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, back on September 10th of 2025. And of course, the number 26 in the number 286 equates to letter Z, which is again an acronym for Zionism, which is a political motivation here. And if Trump survives the trip to Pennsylvania and he survives the airport rendezvous, and he survives the speech. Um, they, number 4 is the CIA is planning to disappear Trump, and this has been a long time in the making. They plan on basically kidnapping him, and then saying that he benefited from the office of the president, and he to the tune of billions of dollars, and he just pieced out. And this narrative began exactly 142 days prior, back on February 1st of 2026, when the CIA kidnapped Nancy Guthrie, who is the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. So they kidnapped this old woman because she's about the same age as Trump, and then they disappeared her, and it became a story for. It's still a story because nobody knows what happened to her. I mean, the CIA knows what happened to her because she's probably dead, but they disappeared her, and this is designed to foreshadow the disappearance of an old person. Then in Congress, you had Republican Tom Keene. He just went AWOL. Very unbecoming of a congressman. He's been missing for 100 days. And the notion that the CIA would just disappear ahead of state, regardless of their security team, was foreshadowed and the precedent set back on December 17th of 1967, when Australia Prime Minister Harold Hurt went swimming and disappeared, and never to be seen of again. And so they will likely claim that Trump went to Panama or some other country in South America, and that is why the 8647 that I previously mentioned that James Comey tweeted had a seashells, because Trump is basically going to peace out and leave the presidency behind and go to a third world nation or some foreign country where he is going to live the rest of his days with his billions of dollars, and he's going to peace out. In reality, Trump will likely be taken to a CIA black site and likely be tortured for years until his death at some future date. But they're going to kill him off in the public sphere on the date of June 23rd. Most likely, again, I'll just repeat. Number 1, suicide assassination. Number 2, some sort of Air Force One. The Air Force One was just granted, a new one granted by Qatar, so there's a possibility they'll stage a bombing. But most likely Trump is going to take Marine One, because it's only 150 miles from the White House to Reading, Pennsylvania, so likely take Marine One. So some sort of tragic event targeting Marine One is expected. Then some sort of ambush attack or some sort of trans shooter related assassination event in Pennsylvania. And then if all else fails, then the CIA will disappear Trump, likely under the guise of departing on Trump Force One to some South American country where he is granted a secret villa, or he's going to go off to some island or something. And that's likely one of the reasons why the Epstein Island thing has been such a feature in the news, is because they plan on saying that Trump went off to some private island. Obviously, we know that the CIA in Switzerland is hell-bent on assassinating a sitting U.S. president, and they will likely do so via her Israeli Mossad. And so that's likely who's going to be involved in this heinous plot to basically decapitate the leadership of the United States. And this is all a revenge attack. That's the way that it's being played out, because of Trump double-crossed Israel, and now Israel's going to double-cross Trump 9 days into his 80th year of life. So obviously, if this happens, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Lastly, I should say, just for the record, that if the CIA forgoes these particular plots, they'll likely reload, but they will likely arrest Trump for crimes he did not commit, or stage some other force majeure act of terrorism, medical emergency, or whatnot, in order to remove him from office. But nonetheless, we know who is actually behind it. Peace.